So anyway, we just saw a ZVT went 2-0 in Terran's favor, but shout out to Prodigy. You know, we saw a lot of good things about his play too. So, you know, I just want to do our diligence to sort of build up our players, but also give them the constructive feedback at the same time, you know, because that's kind of the spirit of our league, right?
Right.
It's very tough sometimes, I think, to get feedback about your StarCraft from another StarCraft player, because we've all been there where it's like, dude, it's hard, and dude, I was thinking that, dude, I was trying that, but like when it really comes down to it, that guy who's telling you, yeah, you forgot lurkers, like, yeah, you need the, like, he's right, you know. So so shout out to Prodigy.
You know he's right, which is why it's hard.
You
it's
know,
like, I know you're right.
I
and
know
like,
you are.
I knew that already.
It's
and
almost like you don't. It's
admit
almost
that.
like I don't need you to tell me, but I kind of need you to tell me because obviously I'm still missing it. So I just like, I was getting my beer and I was thinking like, were we hard on Prodigy? I don't think so.
I was really impressed with Prodigy, honestly.
I think he did good.
I thought he played great.
Yeah.
Like, he found little holes with those
Yeah.
mutants that I could never have found in that second game. Like, he stuck out that 5 pool, even though it didn't really do much at the beginning for 20 minutes, which, again, like, I've seen people GG after just running some lings into a bunker before.
I've seen people not even GG after losing all their lings. So, like, props to you for doing the bare minimum of decorum and tact. All right, so you said we've got a ZVZ coming up next, and I like this matchup, actually.
Same here.
It is, here's what I would submit. ZVZ is actually the most cerebral matchup, because, and here's
the highest IQ, huh?
Highest IQ matchup. Here's why. In the other matchups, you're often playing with a lot of limited information, and you know, you have to make best guesses and best decisions. With ZVZ, it's a high information matchup because you know, you get to often see what they're making and have to respond to that. And in that sense, it's kind of like, you know, comparing StarCraft to chess. Chess is a full information game. You see all the board and all the pieces. So you have to be thinking about that because you can see it all. ZVZ is kind of down that alley where you can read a build very quickly. Once your overlord is in there, you can identify gaps and measures of map distance versus what you can get away with, you know, the risk, the Nash equilibrium, everything we've talked about. And so that's why I submit that ZVZ is actually a very intelligent matchup, and often difficult because outside of the intelligence, then you have this very fine-tuned unit control that you have to master. And so that makes it a hard matchup, you know?
I would disagree on the fact that it's the most intelligent matchup. I would actually say PvP has it beat because of the combination of observers and the Dragoon micro being slower requires that it is done exactly right. Like Dragoon Reaver versus Dragoon Reaver. But that might be because I'm playing Protoss lately. I don't know. I just feel like, especially at the lower levels, ZVZ is a little bit more up to like a little bit of luck, honestly, you know, when you get lings versus lings, especially. I would say
Goon versus Goon is not very cerebral micro.
You don't think so? If you don't do it exactly right, you can be rolled. I don't know.
I would say it doesn't. It's not.
It's the I see it as the same as Ling v Ling, but slow enough that you have to do it right. Versus Ling v Ling, where you can kind of hope that your opponent is not fast enough.
Yeah. When I'm discussing the matchup in general, I wasn't really talking about unit control when I call it cerebral. But
fair enough.
But you might have a good rebuttal that when you consider the mixture of both the build strategy versus the execution of units, what is overall maybe the highest, I don't want to say the word difficulty, but the most tasking?
Intensity.
Yeah, the most tasking of a matchup,
yes.
I guess.
Taskful.
Is a different measure. My whole rant was really just to talk shit about Zergs who think Zerg versus Zerg is like a lame matchup or something. It's totally awesome not, and
it's my favorite right now.
Really requires some noggin. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Sure. So anyway, let's hop into it, dude. Am I in your lobby? I'm in your lobby.
You're in the lobby. Let's do it.
We're on Crossing Field. We got a ZVZ-AgGe versus Valar. Let's go. Oh, hey, that overlay switch though. What's up?
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Dude, we've got FC Leet in the chat. This is an old buddy, a friend of a friend. That's Craig, I think, right? What up, Craig? Thanks for tuning into some Brood War, man. I hope that you're enjoying. Dude, Jeremy's moving back to California. Okay, maybe I should leave this for later. Like, dude, Jeremy's moving away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our boy who lives on the east side. I'm actually going over to the east side to hang out with my guys before I go back to the west coast. So
That's right.
yeah. Here's AgGe. You've done pretty good so far. Wait, is this? What is
Like
this?
in CPL?
In this matchup? Like, we have the map order, right? It's crossing field first.
Yeah.
Maybe they were chatting in the lobby a little bit about the CPL in general. All wins. Okay.
Is Valar undefeated? Maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, he took down Insomniac, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that the game that we needed to stand in? I think that was Durkovic had to stand in because of some time, you know, telling time. But yeah, Valar versus AgGe. I just got a little confused there. Like, I hope that this isn't. I mean, we've got it right. We've got it right.
Like
That must be an earlier conversation that's carrying over here. What is AgGe up to?
I'm looking through the old ones, and it looks like he is undefeated. He's beaten Dirk. He's beaten All and Aridi. I don't know. He's had a walkover in his favor, and I think now this game is his most recent one.
Oh dang! So he's actually all about it. He's really really doing it. You said he beat Dirk, so we saw ZVZ. I think Dirk actually took that to 2-1. Is Valar the German guy? I remember a German Zerg. I don't know. Hey, shout outs to Valar, man. We gotta do some more research. Dude, I took a long ass nap. I took like a 2-hour nap before this cast. So I did not have my like prep stuff.
Post nap delirium here.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, we do have both pool first. But earlier gas for Valar versus AgGe, who went for that hatch next. So
earlier pool too.
He was also earlier pool. You're right. His is finished now. So a little bit like that drone earlier, and now we can see the expansion going down for Valar. So just minor differences, but in a matchup like ZVZ, these actually can amount to a meaningful difference in the units that you're fielding. You know.
That's right. I am gonna totally call out something that I've done countless times in the past, but Valar has got 2 guys on gas. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not.
And he doesn't have speed or lair going yet.
Yeah, he's yet to get the 100 gas.
Okay. I could imagine getting that first 100 and then adjusting, but I wonder. Yeah, I do think that could be unintentional.
I would guess so, but
yeah.
Like I said, I am in no place to criticize.
Oh my god, dude!
Teamer.
Look at AgGe's doing 3 hatch before gas. Actually, he did another hatch and then he took his gas.
Macro? I never do that, but it is crossing field, which is a different map with different styles coming out.
Right. I guess I can see, like, so long as you don't die to mutas and you've made some calculated, like, I'm gonna go my next hatch and then get gas and I'll still be able to defend. Because of this ramp structure, he's already got the lings there that are blocking. Like, he's not in danger, nor is Valar. They're both using lings to block their ramps. So,
and actually, Valar doesn't know about that back base yet. He might think this is just an in-base macro hatch as his natural.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to Valar Vision.
He hasn't seen those lings.
But he's moving his OV north.
He'll figure it out soon, but yeah, he hasn't seen it yet.
Valar sees the creep now. He knows, wait a second, 3 hatches? Wait a gosh darn minute here, because that's not right.
And a 4th going down from AgGe.
And a 4th hatch. Dude, this is unique ZVZ. I gotta tell you,
It's true.
Don't often see this many hatches, and he hasn't even started lair. He's got gas, but hasn't started lair.
He's got gas for both lair and speed, and has started
either one. Like, I'm a little bit curious to see what's going to happen if his goal is just to try to brute force his way through the ling block on the ramp.
It can work.
It can work. We're going to see a little bit of that touchy interaction here on the ramp. AgGe starts moving up. See, he's got the 2 lings, one-on-one ling here. You kind of want to get the 2 versus 1 when your concave is better than the opponent's. And he's doing some trades and finding some gaps, and this is so tough for Valar. You can tell that he's sort of A-moving his guys, but they're bugging out because of the blockage. It's like a ling clot in this artery here.
He's having a little Zerg stroke
He's
there.
having a Zerg stroke in the clock.
Still not spending that gas from AgGe.
AgGe hasn't
down
spent
Evos
gas.
and creep colonies. He's just gonna go straight for spores. It looks like to defend against the impending Muta attack.
Huh. This is a bit different. It's just,
I mean, you called it, right? You said before this match started, AgGe's got some weird strategies up his sleeve. Let's see what he's got.
I wanted to see what was gonna happen here. So
yeah,
this. I mean, I've totally been the Muta player on the other side of this that suddenly is banging their head against the wall like, how do I kill him now? I don't know how to kill him. As you can see, these spores bullying the Ovies away. Oh, poor Overlord, no. He's going down. Spore range, man.
Supply block right as that Spire finishes. He did get some units out first.
That's
so he's still got something coming, but...
Valar trying to make it happen with some Lings at the front, but there was just the right number from AgGe to make him discouraged and step back for a second. So
I mean, he's got four hatcheries worth of larvae. Like, he's gonna outproduce at some point.
Yeah, this is. He actually, I mean, he has too many hatches for his income. He doesn't have enough drones.
True.
There's a lot of larvae sitting around. Like, the old adage is to say, do a production cycle at all your hatches. If what you're left is greater than 300, make another one. And that's not really the case, but it still is like a positional thing. He's got the natural setup now as well. And, Muta almost dying to the spore.
That one Muta. Oh, man.
I saw that, man. 3 HP left on that Muta. That was so close. And here's where I mentioned that head against the wall, right? You're like, what do I do now? I don't know.
All of a sudden, you're in kind of a ZBT situation.
Oh, he died!
Find little holes. Oh, he did die.
That Muta skirted the edge right there, and it got picked off. It was the one that was in the target range, so...
Oh, look at this. AgGe putting stuff underneath this Ovi to try to
soak. That wasn't. I want to say that was a calculated soak.
I mean, I don't know what he was soaking against because the glaives wouldn't have done anything other than like.
Yeah, if you're targeting the Ovi, yeah. Oh.
You have one Ovi going down here.
Yeah,
That's a bunch of mutas though. I don't know, but spores are really good. Spores are obnoxiously strong.
They're very good for sure. They have 400 health.
Yeah, that's crazy.
As a structure, that's pretty serious. Muta's coming in. He's got some good control here. I like the stacks. Trying to poke, trying to prod, find that little gap. Find that the bits where the Venn diagram sort of the two spores doesn't overlap correctly, you know? Oh man.
But yeah, there's this good spore placement too, and he's putting down more all the time too.
You know, what is
3 at every base?
Is the win condition now for AgGe just to like make a bunch of Lings and just attack with a bunch of Lings?
I think so. Yeah.
Could be. Muta's cleaned up a drone or two up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're kind of stuck. They're actually sandwiched now between a bunch of spores. He has to be careful a little bit. Like, find that gap.
Yeah.
They're finding little gaps. That's where the edge of the Venn diagram, the triple Venn diagram's not shooting.
Yeah, 4 drones going down. How are they not shooting that one drone?
Move
him! Move him! Move him! Oh my God! Move him!
Oh my God! This is worse than Hostile Part 2. Oh my God!
Oh wow!
That's not.
And another one. Oh man!
But dude, we're totally missing it. A massive Ling counter, massive Ling attack by AgGe at the same time. Oh
exactly,
God!
Yeah, exactly what you were saying. Just make a bunch of Lings.
We didn't see these Lings attack, so this.
That's why
he
wasn't moving them. Okay.
Oh
we were
God.
watching the mutas.
We were watching mutas. He was being a little more.
Drilling drones.
Resourceful here.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Wow.
And now I think AgGe takes it with a
all these
3 hatch before gas style.
And then just a bunch of spores.
Yep.
Spores are good.
Spores are good. GG from Valar.
What else can you do? You got 1 drone.
Wow. My stomach dropped a little bit when I moved, or I saw all the streaks of orange coming in from the top. I was like, oh, geez. Yeah. Okay, well, that's game 1 to AgGe. Good stuff. Let me switch our board here. Game 1 goes to AgGe in another creative sort of approach here. And we talked about this a little bit, I think maybe the last time that we casted his games, but just, you know, there's something to be said for the idea that, like, with proper cohesive execution, anything can work, so to speak. You know, like,
yeah, absolutely.
A sort of misguided build that's executed well is gonna beat the proper meta build for the situation that's poorly executed. And that's where us B-teamers have to sort of step up to the plate, because execution is always going to be at the forefront. Just a bit above strategy, right? It's a real-time strategy game. And as Day 9 would say, it's a little more real-time than it is strategy. But they're both, they're right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You need both, but yeah, you need to be able to execute before you can actually think about the overarching strategy behind what you're doing.
There's
if you can't move the chess pieces across the board, it doesn't matter how many books on chess you read. You got to be able to move the pawn up before you can even think about where to move it.
Cool, man. All right, joining up for game 2.
All right, let's do it.
Heading to Fighting Spirit. So I'm good if you are, man.
I am good.
Game 2, Coach Pupil League. This is AgGe versus Valar. Chobos versus Scientology Vessel. You are watching Chessz with his friend Zookeeprr. If you like what you see, make sure you look up Coach Pupil League on Team Liquid, on YouTube, etc. It's been a great joy. Shouts to all the organizers. Peace on, Snipe, Connor, and a Wordy. Shouts to all the coaches as well, doing their darndest to help us freaking noobs. Like, imagine that must be like some kind of Brood War purgatory for the players. Like, I gotta help these noobs get better. All they need to do is just play better, like make more things. Like, really? But no, I'm teasing. It's been fun to get to know people and sort of grow a little bit in a team environment, you know?
Yeah, this has been the first like truly social Brood War experience. Like, I wasn't part of foreign Brood War or really active on Team Liquid or anything like that.
Yeah.
Since I got back into StarCraft here, or even when I was into StarCraft last time I was into StarCraft back in StarCraft 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool. I really dig it. I've been streaming. I've been, loving the tournament thing, doing the casting thing. Like, I've really dug it. A lot of cool people out there.
It's cool people. I'm glad in comparison to Dota that, I have mostly English-speaking, mature 20 and 30-something people.
That's the other thing.
Instead of like 14-year-old Peruvians screaming in a LAN cafe where their mic seems to pick up everything but them. And
well, we've gotten into like CSGO in the past.
We played a lot of CS.
And it was like, it just felt a little less level-headed, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, they're both sending their overlords clockwise.
Oh my god. These, and I don't know if you noticed, but Valar was larva tricking earlier.
I noticed, and I saw his overlord pause for just a second, and then it continued moving. So, good shit. And they're both doing pool first.
Gotta give them the props for that one for sure.
Yeah. Wait. Oh god, the overlay. Oh god.
Oh no. Oh no. Not the overlay. Oh, we haven't seen any of it.
Oh,
Nobody's seen any of it.
Oh no. I
no
screwed
one saw
up. Oh no.
Oh man, observing
this
is
feels
not on
so
point.
bad. Dude, it's because you're in the lobby. Like, I hit go and then switched the overlay, and that's in my muscle memory, and now I'm getting messed up. I am sorry. Should I chug?
I don't know if that would help. I feel like that would make it worse.
All right.
Suffice it to say, Valar was doing some sick overlays. Sick overlays.
No,
Jesus.
AgGe was doing larva. Our AgGe was larva tricking.
Are you sure? I think
wait, no, Valar is brown and AgGe is. You're right.
Jesus, what is the observing on this fucking B team cast? All right, AgGe doing the same thing though. Going for the third hatch in base before gas. Which I might have to look back over these replays and steal this build because it worked for him the first time, and he's obviously confident enough and knows it well enough to try it a second time.
That's cool, dude. I'm depressed.
Don't be depressed.
I messed up the overlay and then I confused AgGe and Valar.
I mean, yeah, you're
so
0-2 on this particular game, but you've got time for redemption here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so redemption. I'm clicking things. Look at the lings moving.
I'm clicking them links too. Yeah,
Look at them.
I mean, nobody sees it. But...
Redemption. One ling trying to get past. Oh! Pop by that guy at the top of the ramp.
You caught that? That's good.
I'm back up. Yeah, I'm getting my confidence back. You know, how would Jadong observe? You know, 300 APM observing. I'm kidding.
There is a learning curve to watching those Korean streams and like being able to. You're better at it than I am. But being able to parse what's actually going on.
Yeah, I actually look at their unit box a lot and like see what they're even like touching. Yeah. I've watched a lot of hours of Larva stream, and it's just such a thrill to see somebody who has such mastery. You know what I mean? Like, it's oh my god, that is so sick.
Man, I saw Larva was streaming on Team Liquid earlier today, and I'm like, oh boy! And I saw he only had like 100 viewers, and I go there and he's streaming PUBG, and I'm like, what the fuck, Larva?
PUBG.
Like, I know ASL's over, but like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that's funny. PUBG, that's. Yeah, I try to get into PUBG, but mostly those games suck ass. So, here we go. Oh, that's sunk in the back. You know, I like that sunk placement because it adds just that little bit of blockage for the ramp, you know, giving opponents a stroke, but it also has that range that as soon as a Zerg kind of walks forward, he gets spiked, you know.
And with this concave is beautiful.
Dude, that 3-hatch larva production's coming out now. A lot of links from AgGe, and speed's about to finish. So you have speed versus slow links for another like 10 seconds.
That's right. The Valar's got his Spire up.
Ooh. And is AgGe prepared for such a thing? I don't know. He is moving a lot of lings.
It's gonna have to be down to the lings. Yeah, no Evo chamber, no creep colonies, nothing to defend, no layer.
Like, if I was Valar and like I had watched the previous game and saw my guy did 3-hatch before pool, I would have done something. I would have done 5 pool or something. Like, I would have been like, that's how I beat this. But right now, we're seeing the full brunt of that larva come the other way. His bandwidth is too high. Good Sunks positioning.
Yeah, Sunks with the boys coming up for the wall off. This is actually great. Valar's going to be able to hold this. All he has to hold is until Mutas.
He's got to hold until Muta. Yeah.
Oh, but a lot of blue lings streaming across the map.
A lot more coming. Yeah, and that's just gonna be dicey for Valar, who needs all his larva needs to go into lings. He can't just field 1 or 2 mutas are not gonna stop all these lings. But he doesn't want to. He wants to make mutas, but he needs to make lings. It sucks.
Oh no. Oh man, are these lings just gonna overrun?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, they're overrunning. There's a few in the main now. Here comes the muta. And honestly, this is like devastating levels of damage. Like, there's just the fact that he has to stack his boys and try to survive here, you could call basically like insurmountable damage.
I mean, he cleans it up, and he's got the muta advantage by a long shot too. And that Song's still got plenty of health. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. However, AgGe doing the same kind of idea before with spores. So
the spores are up now.
He's sporing up, and that's just gonna like Valar just probably saw his Overlord get shot by that spore, and that's just going to make his stomach drop a little bit again. Like, oh my god, now there's spores. And he's sort of in the same pitfalls as Game 1.
Yeah, this does feel very vaguely reminiscent of Game 1 here. I don't know, though. I feel like... I don't know. I can't even tell where this game is going, to be honest.
This is like, he needs to block. If AgGe decides to go up, he's got to have something ready there to kind of help assist his ramp besides 3 mutas, because 3 mutas are not going to kill 6 lings fast enough.
Yeah, 3 mutas plus a sunk, but yeah, he's got to stay on the sunk. Ooh, the muta's finding those lings hiding out in the north.
Get out of here, lings.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not enough yet.
Not enough.
Still no layer from
AgGe.
From AgGe, yeah. He's just like so confident in this Spore-Ling combo. I'm totally stealing this build.
Are you going to steal this build?
Wreck on ladder with this thing, man.
I think that this is a good ladder build. Well, I mean, I feel like, well, we saw pool first, but I don't know.
Both of them did pool first, right?
I think they still did pool first. But then AgGe just makes 2 more hatches and then slowly stabilizes, adds in a few drones, sprinkles them in, and then ling attack. And then he's pretty much good here.
Oh, look at that. the drones coming out from Valar to help block any impending Ling stuff, and then going
Yeah.
back to mine. Getting every little mineral that they can.
Yeah, I think he's not out of it yet. Valar's not out of the game, but nor is he out of the woods, because he has to rethink what his approach is going to be to actually take down AgGe, who's now heading towards the lair himself.
Yeah, and he's actually been able to drone up a little bit too. AgGe's been able to drone up a little bit too, because he knows that basically Valar has no choice but to drone up. So he's, like you were saying, ZVZ is all about those little tiny advantages that you can get here and there.
Yeah. Or
and
reading the game correctly and knowing what you can get away with, right? So he's making that read, as you said. Well, my opponent has to drone now, so I can drone now. And I was a little bit ahead before, and the phase of both of us droning is going to lead in me getting more ahead. So
yeah, exactly, or at least maintaining my lead that I already have.
Yeah.
And in this case, transitioning into layer at like 9.5 minutes. Like in a ZP, that's unheard of, I think.
Dude, he's getting a second gas. What for, AgGe? You don't have Spire? You don't have Hydra? Like, you have 900 excess gas?
You have 900 gas.
Okay, he's getting Spire now. He's getting his Spire.
Let's put his Spire down, yeah.
Okay. Another Link tried to run by.
Muta? No, I don't think so. I don't think Mutas can hit that Spire, right?
They would be double hit for sure.
Yeah, from those spores.
Possibly triple hit if you're not really careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might get to see, though.
We shall see. Here comes Valar with the Muta control.
I don't know the MMR of these guys. I know they're sub, 1700 is our B team.
Yes, so at least 1600 or less.
They're at.
Ooh.
Good stacks, but yeah, the spores.
Yeah, it takes like 4 or 5 of that kind of volleys from the Mutas to take it out. Like the Spore had 330 health or so. So not the kind of damage you want to trade for a single CC building, a defensive structure. It's not really how you want to go about it. But Valar may not have any other choice than to try to pick a battle where he's all his Muta stack versus 1 Spore and try to snowball off of the new advantage that he gets from taking out a single Spore. But
well,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not long for this world. With 1,300 gas in the bank, 700 minerals from AgGe, and
there's
3
the Mutas.
Yeah, Mutas, a +1 attack. Looks like going down as well from AgGe. Like, he's just leaning into the Mutas hard now because he's got the economy to do it.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's like AgGe has shown that ZVZ doesn't necessarily have to be a low economy matchup, but I will say that like this build is well suited for like one-off gameplay. Like it would be a good ladder build if you can hold that initial stuff.
Yeah.
It has weaknesses, I think, early, but now it doesn't seem to matter. That's in the past, and now we've got Muta versus Muta, and AgGe is fielding an appropriate amount of Mutas. Oh, jeez.
Ooh. Catching 3 of Valar's Mutas off on their own too. That's never a fun time to look up and see that you just had a little rogue group of Mutas hanging out by themselves.
Yeah, he had more than 12, so that was like 15. So that was 1-2, 1-2. He's microing the 2 groups together, and he just didn't pull back the 2.
Yeah.
That's tough. That is rough. AgGe doing a sweep around now. He kind of went to his natural and then to the 12, moving down here. So for all the people out there, this would be called counterclockwise, this Muta movement here.
All the people? I mean, most of the people know about counterclockwise.
Oh, you never.
Most of them.
So he's moving in, and there's no static D here to defend these Mutas, and that's just, oh my god, all the drones
evaporate. That's the other thing
this
build does.
GG it's just straight GG.
But like, you have static D, which opens up once you get to Mutas, you have total reign to counterattack because you know that you're covered at home too.
Yeah,
I love that build from AgGe. AgGe, if you're out there, I'm totally stealing that. That is mine now.
That's mine now. Yeah, we have a new Zookeeper build.
2.0. Yeah, that's right.
Way to go.
It's in the same vein as the Zookeeper build, right? Like with the macro hatch in there. It's just you get a natural too.
Right. That's cool.
I love it.
It's Zookeeper build to the extreme a little bit.
Exactly.
So shout outs to Valar for being sort of a guinea pig here. I would
have lost for sure against that.
I want to say that I know ZVZ and I've studied the kinds of openers you can do, but that 3 hatch is not common. Like,
No,
I've
I've
almost
got
never
3
seen
that
it.
I do. I do hatch first, I do macro hatch first, and I do no other hatch. I just do like pool into nothing.
Yeah, one base pool muta.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a new one. That's a 4th one to the repertoire.
All right. So that's 2-0 for AgGe, meaning our series score in the B team so far is also 2-0 to Chobos. So Chobos aren't looking like Chobos. Chobos are looking Gosu tonight in this week 7
they have been
matches.
for the entire CPL, right?
Yeah,
Oh, no, wait,
like
Chobos are the
they were on top. Yep.
Right?
Yep, they were undefeated going into this week. They've yet to be defeated.
That's right. Okay, they're yeah. Okay, I gotcha.